welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today I am doing a video on food prep. Some of you may not know, but I suffer really bad. I have fibro and I suffer really bad with my arms and standing for long periods of time. So I have gotten into preparing fruit, preparing vegetables, preparing meals, everything. Now, because I do struggle, I use a lot of pre-cut stuff. I also don't do it in one big gulp. Can't speak today. I also don't do it in like one big go. So for example, I don't cook a week's worth of meals in one day, because then I'd be struggling. So you'll see the next few days of me doing some meal prep. Some days I might do some snacks. Some days I will do like snacks and lunch. Some days I'll do breakfast. But it's basically me making things and sometimes making more of something. So like if I do lasagna, for example, I will cook everything to make lasagna and do them in trays, put some in the freezer, then also cook it for that dinner that day. So it's about me for making more than what we need to put in the freezer. Basically, so I don't have to cook every single day. I cook 3 times a week. That's mainly now so I get variety. So the kids and the husband don't just have one meal, the same meal every day. They have like 3 or 4 to choose from. But yeah, I thought I'd share it with you because it's great for if you're just so busy, like me, you sometimes aren't able to make dinner. So it's just something that I can quickly shove in the oven or shove in the microwave. And basically I don't snack badly on stuff when I'm starving, and if I'm hungry I'm like, right, let's just grab that and I'll eat that, yeah, rather than snacking, or yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give a big thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. But yeah, let's get into my food prep. So the first thing I'm going to start preparing today is the snacky stuff. So you've got grapes, strawberries, cucumber, sometimes we even have carrot sticks, and basically I just separate them into small containers and then put them in arm's reach for the kids, so they're on the lowest shelf of the fridge, so when they're hungry they don't reach out for like the rubbish food like crisps and chocolate type thing. They'll go into the fridge and see that there's some strawberries, some grapes and that type of thing, and they're their favourite fruit. So they can easily just grab them and eat them, rather than, like I said, getting rubbish food. It's much better for them and for me. So it really helps with weight loss as well. So instead of me going and getting some crisps or some chocolate for myself, I tend to grab some hummus and some carrot sticks and have that for a snack, rather than going for all the bad food. So it definitely does help. So the next one I'm preparing is my lunch and a snack as well. So I'm just making some couscous, so I'm weighing it out and then adding some hot water. But I also put a vegetable stock in there as well because it just gives it so much flavour. And I'm popping that in there to basically soak it all up, and it only takes probably about 2 minutes until it's all done, and then when it's all done I just fluff it up. Basically this is my protein in my salad. It's cheaper than meat and I prefer it than meat because I'm not a massive meat lover. So yeah, I'm preparing all my snacks as well, and usually Andrew will have some of these. And basically put a handful of carrot sticks, they're already pre-cut so I don't have to cut them up, into some lunch boxes, and I get some hummus as well. Sometimes I will separate the hummus and put it in a little lunchbox, sometimes I don't. It just depends because the other half likes it as well, so I sometimes like to separate it to say that one's mine. But yeah, by the time that's done, pretty much my salad stuff will be sorted. And what I do for my salad, I basically drain some sweet corn and pre-cut sweet crunchy lettuce and carrots and stuff like that. I pop them in containers, then I pop in this sweet corn in each container, then I also get the couscous and then put that in there as well. So it's got loads of different things in there, and a little bit of cucumber today because I had some left over for the kids snacking from the other day. And yeah, and then I put them in the fridge, and then when I get them out I have some croutons that I put in, so I'll put a handful of croutons as well. I've learnt the trick of doing it just before I eat it rather than prepping with the croutons. The croutons get very soggy like normal bread and they're not as crunchy anymore, and I like mine crunchy, so I do only put the croutons on just before I eat, and I usually put some Caesar salad dressing on there as well. But it's easy enough to do. Grab it out the fridge, put some handful of croutons, some dressing on it, and then I'm good to go. So this will do me for 4 lunches as well. So the next thing I'll be prepping is some breakfast things. It's the weekend, and at the weekend we sometimes like to have pancakes. And it's just so much easier to just like triple the recipe like I've done here, where I mix it all together. I basically use like an American fluffy pancake recipe. I either use it to make the pancakes, or I sometimes make waffles as well because I've got a little waffle maker. Like I said, I've tripled the recipe. I will put the recipe in the description box if you wanting to copy it, but I much prefer the American one because I like American pancakes that they're thick. And yeah, I just much prefer them than our little thin ones that we do with only little ingredients. So yeah, today I'm making pancakes for the kids. I think it made a good fair few, but I'll show you in a second because I will be doing a voiceover in a second. But yeah, pancakes, perfect. And because I've already pre-cut like strawberries, it makes it so much easier the day of. So for example, say one day they've got school and they do want pancakes, and usually it's like, no, I haven't got enough time to make pancakes before school. All I do is, because I've frozen them in packets, I just take them out of the packet, pop them in the toaster, and all of like strawberries and things like that have already been pre-cut and in containers, so I just have to tip that out and then put some syrup on top and they're done. So it only takes me just a couple of minutes to do, just like normal breakfast like toast and cereals. So yeah, it's so much easier for this, especially if your kids absolutely love pancakes. Like I said, you can make it so it's even bigger or smaller, but like I said, I've tripled the recipe. Thought I'd quickly show you as well how many of these worth. So these ones are 6, because if we have many around, there's enough for 2 for everybody. And then these ones are 4s, so they can have them like school mornings or whatever over the weekend. But I'm going to put these in little bags and then put them in the freezer. So just to clarify with this, like I said, I tripled the recipe. It made 6 pancakes, which the kids ate because I had my niece over, so that was 2 each for them. And then I also had another pack of 6 that I'm putting in the freezer, and 2 lots of 4. So it does make quite a few pancakes, which is great. So now on to prepping meals. I'm making some tuna pasta bake. I have basically put some pasta on, which is finished and draining, and then I'm making the sauce, which is fairly easy to do. I just get a normal one of the packets and just follow the recipe, like add milk, add tuna, sweet corn, that type of thing. And what I tend to do with meals like this is, if you can see in the background, there's foil containers. So because this requires to go in the oven afterwards, after the toppings go on, what I do is, instead of putting it in one big food tray and then pop it in the oven and then all leftovers put it on containers, I do it so I have a foil tray for me, foil tray for my husband, foil tray for my son, that type of thing. And then I have the leftovers and then I put them in the foil trays in the freezer. So it means that when I'm, or the kids or the husband's ready to eat them, I then basically put them straight in the oven for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then they're ready to eat. This way they seem a little bit fresher, because I've noticed if you're freezing and microwave it, it makes it dry out and things like that. But if you do it this way and use the oven, it's not so bad. So yes, I am making tuna pasta bake, made the sauce, mix it in to the pasta, which I've got some sweet corn and tuna in there. Give it a good mix, and then I'm just going to separate them in all the containers. And then for the topping, I had some ready salted crisps. I squished them all and put them on top, which is the best part of tuna pasta bake. And then some cheese on there as well. And then the ones, like I said, that I'm not going to bake today, I'll put the lids on and write what they are, and the rest of them I'll just pop straight into the oven for meals that we're eating today. So So the next meal that I am prepping is a lasagna. I have just put a pan on the hob, let it heat up a bit and add some onions, and then I'm going to add the mint and passata and add in like a load of herbs and spices and things like that, and wait for it till it's been fully cooked. And yeah, just like the same as the other recipe, I am putting them in foil containers. It just makes it so much easier. Like I said, it doesn't dry out as much. So, and they're not cooked. So again, I will put a couple of the containers with the pasta in and then into the oven for the meal for that day. And then the rest of them I put in the freezer, which means when I do take them out, obviously they'll need to go in the oven for about an hour for the pasta to cook, as well as the meal as well. But no complaints whatsoever doing it this way, because usually if I do leftovers and put it in containers and then put them in the microwave, the husband complains that they're too dry. This way they do not end up dry, and they're just so much better and they feel fresh, and I don't feel as bad if we get a meal from the freezer because it's been made fresh at home rather than just buying a ready meal and things like that. And I've not wasted food either, and they do last around 6 months in the freezer when they're like this, so it's much better for us for food waste and things like that, so we're not wasting things at all. So the last and final meal I'm going to be making today is a soup in my soup maker. I love this soup maker. It literally takes 20 minutes to make soup and it chops it all up for you. You can have it smooth or like bits in it, but I love mine smooth. Basically, it's a cauliflower soup. I'm going to add some onions, some cauliflower, some herbs and a little bit of lemon juice. Then basically some hot water and some vegetable stock. Then pop the lid on, click which mode you want it, which I'm going for smooth, and then it takes just over 20 minutes and it's all made. Again, with this I had plenty left over. The husband didn't want soup this time, so me and my son had it. And then I got these little containers and I basically filled them halfway. They don't need to be filled to the top because that is just way too much soup. And I ended up getting 3 extra ones out of this as well. And then when I'm ready to eat soup, it means I don't have to wait for food to be done. So if I want a meal quick and done, basically I just get one of these, pop it in the microwave for a few minutes and it's all ready to eat. So it's great. And again, these last about 6 months in the freezer. Thank you for so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. If you've got any questions, please comment them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. And I must admit, I much prefer this kind of like lifestyle for cooking rather than cooking food every single day and then having a takeaway, because this way I've always got food in the oven, food in the freezer to put in the oven, or like I said, microwave, and it just makes life so much easier. Sometimes I double up the recipe, or I don't eat that food, I eat my own food. It's a little bit healthier, and yeah, it just makes things super duper easy for me and my family. So highly recommend preparing some meals for like if you're in a rush, if you're poorly or anything like that. But yeah, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day and I will see you soon.